pursue the black vote. Me personally, I think it's condescending when you tell me you have to pursue the black vote. Like, you pursue it with a thing of malt liquor and a watermelon. Give it. Hey man, can I get the black vote?
I'm so glad I was here pursuing the white vote. I mean, what are white issues?
They did do that with recently. Middle class white men,
working white males,
because Hillary Clinton said all you guys were a bunch of misogynists and hated her, right? So you're finally seeing them say, but that's because you're in a box. I don't pursue white votes, black votes. And Trump doesn't pursue. I always hated when he would pivot and say, we're going to meet with the African American community and blah. I'm going, no, you're going to meet with human beings that have issues that may be culturally based, and we're going to address those cultural based issues and make sure that they understand they're just as a big part of America as anybody else. But I don't let's go meet with the Italians and then we'll go meet with the Chinese.
We got great food. I mean, you can come over anytime. Let's bring this now into the context of what we're here for, immigration reform. Success leads to success, right? So when people are feeling more prosperous, they start paying attention to more of the issues around them, like, influx of illegal immigration, like increased violence in their communities. It seems like the success from one end is going to keep steamrolling forward, and you're going to see a lot of these promises that Donald Trump was talking about, building the wall, ending catch and release, and all these things that are listed everywhere around here that we're at FAIR, they're going to start coming, and the people are going to start responding to it.
So, well, you nailed it. Success. Look, you can. Many things change when you start to win. You give me the Mets, right? And they're losers.
Why you gotta go there, man?
I'm just saying.
Listen, this is our city now, all right? I don't know what you people are talking about. We were in the playoffs.
I'm just trying to keep this New York, okay? Just forget about it.
Pick on my Mets.
No, but my point is, look, you can be doing everybody can be squabbling, and the next thing you know, suddenly you put 10, 12 wins together in a row. And then suddenly people got the rally caps on, right? That's what's happening here. You're watching win after win occur, and I hope that we get these two gubernatorial races. If we flip Virginia and whatever else we got worked.
But Virginia's the big one, though.
That's the big one. If we flip that for some reason, and the Republicans can put a Republican in and get rid of McAuliffe or whoever's the governor there. You're talking about the Democrats don't even know how to act, man. They will be running around like sprayed roaches.
Gillespie was close last time. He's going to be close again.
Didn't he lift a ban on felons voting there, though?
That's what McAuliffe did.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. All right, speaking of success breeding success, we got to talk about the Kevin Jackson brand and how it's doing. To let everybody know what you're up to, man.
So I made a movie, bleedingbluemovie.com.
That's awesome.
People should check it out. It's about cops. And it's honoring the guys. But, it's 80-20. It's 80% pro-cop, 20% let's look at the real issues. So it's not just a homer, for us. But it's an John Singleton. He made a version that made it sound like all these guys, Michael Brown, are heroes. By the way, Michael Brown, $1.5 million. Philando Castile, $3 million.
Eric Garner, $4 million.
No, Eric Garner got $6.8 million. So you're watching guys that have done wrong get these huge payoffs, and the cops are demonized when in fact it's the Rawlings Blakes of the world and the Marilyn Mosbys and people like that are at fault.
So 2015 Buffoon of the Year for our show, by the way, just putting that out.
So we made a movie that looks at the real life struggles of these guys. What they go through mentally. People that have killed people, and sometimes they have to retire from the force. They never forget about it and things like this because people act like these cops are going around hunting. So we're doing that. I'm leaving for Paris today. I'm going to Iranian resistance.
Great! Yeah, we just spoke to Ali Safavi.
Yeah, absolutely. I had the guy come
Thank
on
you so much for passing along to us. That's great. You going to that conference?
I'll be at that conference. They invited me to come to there, so I'll leave tonight to go to that. And everything we do is to deal with the issues that we look at the left sort of demonizing and winning the marketing battle over it, and we just undo it. So all of our projects are based on that type of thing.
Absolutely fantastic. And of course, theblacksphere.net. An amazing website. It's on my daily blog roll. I'm there every
day. Glad to hear that, man.
And listen.
Take a lot of pride.
Checks in the mail, I know.
Yeah.
No, but it's a great site. You put together a great staff of writers there that churn out great original content.
Yes.
There's lots of sites out there that aggregate. You have the original content coming out of your site. Yeah. It's really cool.
I want personality. I want you to read it and go, wow, that was funny, or it was clever, or I didn't see that angle. of the story. So we take a lot of pride in that.
What's the name of the movie again? Because I definitely want to check this out.
BleedingBlueMovie.com.
I mean, this is one of those areas where you said 80-20, and I'm happy that you said that, because this is one of those areas where the left and the right could potentially agree on some things.
Absolutely.
The right always talks about the over-militarization of police departments, and that's an area where the left and right definitely should talk. But the left goes over the top with every incident and takes a hardline stance on every one of them without looking at any facts.
For them, every cop is a
killer in the making.
A killer and wanting to kill black people.
But even a guy like me, I don't like getting pulled over, and I hate getting tickets. And I would like to look into if any cop is abusing his authority. But it almost puts guys on the right into a corner. Now, I always, if CNN is reporting that a cop abuses authority, I automatically have to default not believe it.
Well, but that's the point. Media, if it were balanced, and you said, okay, so, and they were to tell the truth, for example, about Michael Brown, you go, okay, I get it. But they don't. They want to make the guy hero. He only had his hands up, and the cop just came up and shot him cold blooded. And you find out that's an absolute lie. So, look, when cops do bad, there's all kinds of oversight and things like that. When thugs do bad, there is no oversight. There's no commission to bring the thug in. Let's talk to the thug and see what he did, and let's look at the video. Thug, none of that happens. So, it's a one-sided thing. But what we didn't want to do was do a Michael Moore where it's 100%.
It's not a propaganda piece. It's real talk.
It's real.
Yeah.
And the what we're trying to do is bridge the gap between young blacks that run into these cops. Stop acting as if you got to be Tommy Tough Ass every time you run into a cop. The guy wants to go home to his kids, and he's an ordinary dude just like anybody else, and he runs into the same issues when his uniform's off as you do. And I tell people all the time, I want to make the next black kid not get shot because I've done it the right way. Hands up. On the steering wheel. Yes, officer, I'm going to reach here. Is it okay? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do it the right way. So, again, my brand, if you will, is dedicated to righting the wrongs and being a real vocal person to say, because I get people tell me, I'm going to kick your butt next time you're in New York. I go, I'll be staying here. This is when I'll arrive. You show up. And I promise you, I'm going to choke you out and have you on YouTube. So you bring it. But I'm fighting for those folks that are afraid to speak up, afraid to wear that MAGA hat, afraid to say I voted for Trump. I'll say it anywhere. I've said it in front of black folks, white folks, you name it. I voted, for Donald Trump. I have no problem admitting it. And if you want to say something about it, we can do it here. We can do it outside.
I love it.
There you go. At Kevin Jackson TBS on the Twitters, if you're on there,
yeah.
If you're in that,
hook me up on Twitter.
If you're in that tire fire that is Twitter nowadays. Kevin, thanks so much for coming on, man. It's such a pleasure to always talk to you.
You too, G.
And that was Kevin Jackson, the man. And I truly mean it when I say this, folks. He was an influence on the show, and he's been a good friend for the show in the years that we've been together and networked and worked together, giving us guests, feeding us advice and information. Always great to have him on. Check him out at theblacksphere.net. And, of course, his syndicated radio show. I believe it's every day now. The man's blowing up. Check him out on the Twitters. Check him out on his website. Check him out on air. The man does everything. What Kevin said during the interview, which we taped a couple weeks ago, it really resonates now when you compare a feeling of momentum, as he was talking about, stringing together some wins together, start moving downhill, to where we stand currently, as this show is being taped, talking about the screeching halt of momentum caused by the failure of the House and the Senate Republicans to come up with a repeal and replacement of Obamacare. The number one promise that voters out there clung to as a reason to vote for President Trump, to hold on to the majority of the Republicans in the House and Senate. All that momentum, it's now dissipated. We've come to a screeching halt because we couldn't get out of our own way. And by we, I mean House and Senate Republicans. Couldn't get out of their own way. Couldn't come up with a plan for the full repeal and replace that they've been talking about for 7 years. Yes, they can talk about defunding this, that, and the other. They can't get rid of the regulations. They can't get rid of the whole body, the whole corpse, the whole dead on arrival, morbid mass can't get piecemeal. And again, these self-inflicted wounds have taken away all the momentum that President Trump has had. From the Gorsuch appointment, the improvement on the border, the stock market increase over time since he's taken office, the number of jobs that are staying home, and 4 special election wins. All that momentum gone because legislators who have been in power for at least 4 years, probably more, more when you talk about some of the leadership, are now unprepared to deal with the reality of repealing and replacing Obamacare. They have no plan. They've shown they've had no plan. They had no plan A, they had no plan B, they had no plan C. And now we're stuck with this bloated, morbid, dead-on-arrival carcass that is Obamacare, rotting away piecemeal. And all the momentum that Kevin was talking about, that comes from winning, dissipating, and you have Democrats whose brand, as Kevin said, was seen as toxic not more than 2 weeks ago. They're now doing a victory lap. Because, honestly, the Republicans couldn't get out of their own way and handed them a tremendous victory. So, we talked about now the optimism coming down and the wave cresting and crashing to the ground and momentum being lost. But what about the future of the party? What about the young people coming up? Are we just repeating the cycle of bad in, bad out, garbage in, garbage out? We have an interview with Giancarlo Ghione from the New Jersey Young Republicans that's pretty ominous in my opinion because according to Giancarlo and according to documented reports, we're seeing some of the dirty play, the dirty pool, the dirty politics being used by the next generation of politician. And all that's coming out of it now, folks, you're having bad young Republicans growing up to be bad old Republicans, and we're repeating the cycle over and over again. But I'm going to let Giancarlo explain it when we come back from break. Gene Baradelli, Behind Enemy Lines. We'll be back right after these brief words. If you're a long-time listener of the show, or maybe this is your first time listening, you can probably tell that me and the gang here, we like to have our share of fun, whether it's on or off the air. We talk about 2-drink minimum radio and no medication Wednesdays or whatever day it may be. That's why when we found the people at Less Government, More Fun, we knew it was a match made in heaven with this show. Folks, we live in a time where government is out of hand. Our founding fathers did not intend government to be all-consuming in all parts of our lives. That's why we are telling you to go to lessgovmorefun.com, check out the website, check out the swag. What the people want is less government, more fun. Pass it on, make it happen.
Who might you save?
Your mother, your father, your husband, uncle, aunt, son.
Learn FAST, F-A-S-T, the sudden signs of a stroke, and you could save.
Your friend, teacher, boss.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. F-A-S-T. That's F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in the recovery of
your neighbor, the waiter, grandmother, grandfather.
So learn FAST, the sudden signs of a stroke, then pass it on, because you never know who might save you.
Your wife, your colleague.
Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org, brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Behind Enemy Lines Radio is all about being right. No, seriously, it is. If you ever listen to Russ Gallo or me go back and forth on some issue, we always want to make sure that we remember who said what and when we said it. That's why we go to goonrecord.com. It's a brand new social media website. Challenge people on what they believe, whether it's in politics, sports, entertainment, finance, whatever. There's a category for you at goonrecord.com. Check it out right now. Tell us, what do you stand for? It's time for you to go on record.
Behind
Behind Enemy Lines. Back on the air. You know, one of the topics that is